All Nova Corps. Can anyone hear me? We are under siege. Alert! Kang is attacking. Anyone?
Okay. Anyone else see a giant sword in the sky?
I can. It's right there.
Guardians? Kang the Conqueror is attacking. We've nearly evacuated everyone, but our last rescue ships are pinned down. We can't hold out much longer.
Relax, Nova Prime. The cavalry's here. No problem, we can't punch. No payment, we won't accept. Rocket, you're on stick. Groot, don't touch anything. Let's go kick some Kang. Whoa!
Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. So this was actually a Lego game that came out almost 15 days ago now, and by the time I upload this, it even might be a little bit longer. I had no idea this game came out, really. I had no idea. Usually I keep pretty good track of the Lego games, but nope, had absolutely no clue. So, part of the reason that I realized it did come out is that I was offered this game for free by the publisher, Warner Brothers, so they gave me a free copy, and I have to say that for legal reasons, but anyway, that's not going to change my opinion of this game. Now, it is going to be kind of ironic to say that I got a free Lego game, but I'm also going to say right afterward that it was one of the best Lego games they've made in the last 2 years, I want to say. It really, to the point, it made me wonder, did they spend all of their time with the previous Lego games being so unbelievably mediocre, even for Lego games, that this one was all the effort, they're putting all their effort into Lego Marvel 2? I don't know, but this was a solid game. It's extraordinarily long for a Lego game. I think the only other Lego game that I could say was actually this long was Lego Dimensions, and that one was like $100 because you had to buy the little Lego pieces with it, so that made sense. But this one's a normal $40 Lego game, and it's like 9 hours long. At least it took me about 9 hours to beat it. Maybe you'll have an easier time on it. I did run into a couple of glitches that are still extremely annoying, and I'm also gonna once again be a little bit ironic. I called this one of the best Lego games that they've made in a really long time, which is totally true, but I don't think it's one of my favorite Lego games really ever, and especially near the end I kind of started not liking it that much. I'll explain more of that as the guide goes on, and a lot of my complaints with it, as well as the bonuses, but for now a cutscene's coming up in a couple of seconds, so I'm gonna stop talking here and then continue right afterward.
If we survive this, I vote we have trial runs for future emergencies.
All right, guys, we're almost in position. Get ready.
Okay, let's jump. As soon as we're low enough.
Was he wearing a rocket pack?
You're kidding, right? He doesn't even wear a shirt. Okay, new plan. We jump now.
Drax, you must learn to look before you leap.
I did look. Then I leaped.
Yeah. Wild guess here. This Kang the Conqueror is big on time travel?
I said the Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes, I know. They're a bunch of... Oh. Hello, Guardians.
And now we're back. So, as I was saying, I really did not like this game all that much, especially near the ending, just because this game is 20 levels long. Yes, 20 levels long. And that right there is one example of what the heck kind of problems you may run into. Like, I just sat there for, I don't know, 10 seconds doing nothing because the game was taking forever to actually respond to what I was asking it to do. Now, I do have to also say that I am recording this with Fraps, and Fraps has been known to cause issues with some games in the past, but I don't think Fraps causes the issues where the bosses don't spawn, but who knows, maybe it does, I don't know. As far as glitches go, they weren't too bad. There were 2 bosses where the next phase of them didn't activate, so I had to restart the level. But luckily there's ample checkpoints, so it's very unlikely that you're ever going to get sent all the way back to the beginning unless your glitch happens early on, I guess. And I had no other level glitches where I had a problem doing anything else. I did have some trouble trying to switch characters. There's a few levels where you have like 4 or 5 or 6 heroes that you have to manage, and you only ever actually use 3 of them, but you want to switch to one particular one because one fights a lot better than the other, and for some reason the game is just like, no, you're not going to switch to that one, you're going to switch to every other character. And then they assign way too many commands to the same button. I mean, the B button does like 3 different things in this game. The A button in the overworld jumps, but also if you hold it too long does like your character's ability or does something other than just jumping for some reason. And I don't know what the bumpers do. At least I'm playing on PC, so maybe this is a little bit different on console, but I suspect it isn't, because normally I play these games on PC and I plug into my Xbox 360 controller, and in my experience the controls have always been the same as they are on the Xbox. So I know I can go in and change these, I know, but I just feel like from a default perspective, the B button shouldn't have 3 separate commands, which I'll talk about in later videos when we actually use them. But anyway, that was some kind of minor annoyances. And then the levels, as I said before, are long. I'm talking 15 minutes minimum, which doesn't sound that long, but most of the time they're going to be 20 or more minutes, especially for a first time, because this makes me wonder, were they under some kind of new creative direction or something? I have no idea. I could go check out the credits and see, I could see the names and see if they're different. I imagine they're not the same for each and every game, so I don't know, I'm just making stuff up probably. But holy crap, the puzzles in this game are spectacularly Lego. I mean, I haven't had this much problem with puzzles in a Lego game probably since I first started playing one, and when I first started playing one I was really young, the original Lego Star Wars, so it kind of makes sense I'd have a hard time with those back then. You'd think now that I'm older I'd have less of a hard time, but some of the puzzles in this game are just crazy. They're not hard. Nothing was ever ridiculously difficult. I didn't have to look up a walkthrough, which would be also ironic if I'm making a walkthrough and I had to look one up anyway. I didn't have to do that. And as I said, I did get through the game in about 9 hours, and once you play through the levels once or twice, I'm sure you can go through it a lot quicker. But just sitting there trying to figure out some of the puzzles, which have absolutely no help in some cases, were kind of, I don't know about crazy, but I was just surprised at how much harder they have been in this game compared to previous Lego games. So that is a definite plus, and same with the Lego length. I mean, the last Lego game I played just a month or 2 ago actually was Lego Ninjago, and that one was like 3 hours long with only 10 levels, but that again was probably more due to the material they were given, which itself was not very good. I mean, the Ninjago movie was not that great. It was fun, but you know, I think a lot of people have started taking Lego too seriously these days, especially after the success of the first Lego movie, and they're expecting all of them to be like that one, but they're not gonna be, so I don't know. I think people should go back to remembering it's Lego. We're having fun. Okay, well, that being said, with the long levels, I'm splitting up most of these into 2 parts. I will have some one-parters. Basically, my rule is if the level is longer than 20 minutes, I'm going to cut it in half. If it's not longer than 20 minutes, I'll have it all as one video. In all of my rambling, of which there will be much of throughout the time of this walkthrough, I have been playing as all these Guardians of the Galaxy heroes, which we recognize if you've seen the movies, and of course you get Baby Groot, who is still a baby even at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but that didn't really fit well for this game, I guess, so they gave him a time switcheroo thing, which allows him to grow into bigger Groot. Something that kinda disappointed me, but is completely understandable, is that it sounds, anyway, that none of the voice actors in this game are any of the actors from the movies, and I imagine they probably would have cost too much to get those actors to do a Lego game. I don't know, maybe some other reason why they couldn't do that. It would have just been really awesome if you could have gotten Vin Diesel to actually do Groot in this game, and instead you get some guy who doesn't sound that great, and you're going to have that experience throughout the entire game. People are just not going to sound that great. But, you know what, they get the job done. For the most part, the voice acting is completely acceptable for a Lego game, but that's pretty much the review for any Lego game. It's acceptable for a Lego game. You can't expect too much. But what do you get to do? You get to build a ton of Legos, blow up a ton of stuff as Marvel heroes that I have never heard of, and do ridiculous boss fights against Marvel enemies I have also never heard of in my life. Now this was actually an interesting part of the level. You have to jump into the ship and start shooting this guy, and then randomly my aimer actually quit working, and I was blaming the game, like, really? We're at the halfway through level 1 and there's already a glitch? But that wasn't why. My controller battery had died, and for some reason it didn't pop up and say controller disconnected, pause, whatever. Anyway, I plugged in my controller again, and it works fine. So, no glitches yet, can't complain about the game for that yet. And I cut out all the glitches I do run into, but I'll mention them as they come. So, that's going to be it for this video. I'm going to continue this walkthrough on in part 2 for whatever the heck this level is.